What's up, YouTube? Angry Asian here. So, you're ready to buy a super duper paratrooper ultra high speed operator high cut helmet, huh? But who wants to spend $2,000 for an ops core helmet when you're more likely to probably just drive your car over it than ever take a bullet to the nugget? What if I told you you could take a full coverage ACH MICH like this guy here and turn it into one of these really cool high cut shells, or one of these ops core-esque super high speed helmets? And what if I told you get one of these for just a fraction of the price? Save your G.I. Joe bucks. Stay tuned, I'll tell you how. So recently I made some friends in the so-called helmet industry, Rob from KustomACH and Coleman from War Dogs Tactical, and over the last few months I've talked to them about their services in taking a full coverage ACH like this guy here. This is a brand new MSA helmet, and I sent both of these gentlemen one of these, and in return they sent me my MSA helmet back with their conversion and upgrades. So let's talk about them today. Here's the KustomACH conversion, and Rob really did a beautiful job on this thing. I mean, it almost looks factory. Now granted, it's not quite the same as like an MSA 2001 high cut. You still have a little bit of the ears here, and it still has the same holes as, you know, a regular ACH, because this is what it started life as. But this is basically what Gentex did for their HST high side trim series helmets. It looks exactly the same. So keep that in mind. I mean, because this is an ACH, all ACH accessories will work with it, unless of course it's something that went on the ears here. I'll show you the inside. Still looks brand new, just like the brand new helmet I sent him, of course. And he did a really good job with that seal too, as well as painting this guy. Now I opted just to keep the standard one hole setup on this guy. Rob does offer a service to do the 3 holes if you want to run a 3-hole shroud, as well as an option to plug and fill this hole. Now he does also offer mid-cut variants, and he will do conversions not on just the ACH, but the ECH as well as the past GT helmets. With the mods he's done on this guy, it weighs in at 2 pounds and 4.1 ounces. Pricing for his conversions range from about $150 to $200. Obviously, you're going to send him your helmet, and the turnaround is about a month. It really just depends on what options you want. Again, this is just his standard high cut service. I did not opt for any changes to the night vision hole, and I'd say he did a tremendous job. And Rob's also told me he's done over 600 of these conversions, which is extremely impressive. And yeah, it shows, man. He did a professional job on this guy. So if you're interested in one of these conversions, give Rob a holler over at KustomACH.com or email him at rob@KustomACH.com. Next on deck is this SF conversion from Coleman over at War Dogs Tactical. And what he basically does is offer copies of the Ops Core MT, SF, and Cayman style helmets. Same deal with this guy here. I sent him a brand new MSA ACH, and this is what he sent back to me. And yeah, it looks great, honestly. I mean, to the untrained eye, you might not even be able to tell the difference between this and the real thing. Let's go over his helmet and some of the accessories. As you can see, he's got a Ops Core-esque shroud here. I sent him a 1-hole, and as you can see, he's drilled that for this 3-hole setup. The Velcro on it is very, very heavy duty. It's cut basically the exact same way as what Ops Core does. One of the differences that War Dogs does as opposed to Custom ACH is that War Dogs cuts their helmets for the fast style, and it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but the fast style helmets kind of come down at less of an angle than, say, an ACH high cut does. Here's my MSA TC2001 high cut, and you can see the angle's a little different. You get a little more back coverage with the fast style helmets. Looks to be OpScore-esque hardware as well. I love these chin strap bolts. I have to ask him where he got them because I need to start selling those on my website. But inside of it, you can see it's got the worm style headgear setup. This is an FMA. I don't know if you can see that on there. It's an FMA. And it's also got the OpScore style helmet pads. Now, one thing I will say about this, and I have talked to Coleman as well, this is a ballistic helmet. Helmet pads are super, super important because top tier helmet pads help prevent TBIs in the case of IEDs, explosions, etc., banging your head against the side of a vehicle during an explosion or whatever, what have you, right? They figured this out a couple years into the Iraq and Afghanistan campaigns. I mention this because these pads are way too soft. This should be like a two-piece design. And the real OpScore helmet uses like a drop-in liner type deal with these pads on top. So you're getting basically two pads. You have that stiffer pad to help with that blunt force trauma impact, and then you have the softer pads really made for comfort and for wicking sweat away. And I talked to Coleman about this. He's going to be offering new pads. But with that said, for what you get for the money on this guy, it's a beautiful setup, man. Looks really good. Again, he does that fast style cut. The steel he uses is a little different, a little thicker, but either way, I've tried it on. It's very comfortable, and if you want a turnkey setup, War Dogs Tactical might be the way to go for you. The weight of this guy is 3 pounds, 2.1 ounces. Pricing for a conversion like this ranges from about $375 to $450, just depending on what options you want. Turnaround is anywhere from 1 to 3 months, also depending on what options you want. And if you don't have a helmet to send him, he's got ones ready to go. Just give him a holler. Now, War Dogs Tactical doesn't have a website, but they are on Instagram at War Dogs Tactical, or you can reach him by email at cole.e.wardogstac@gmail.com. So, since we're talking about saving money in high-cut helmets, I figure I'd go ahead and show off my personal high-cut helmet that I honestly recently just finished up. This is an MSA 2001 high-cut helmet, and I got this guy for a deal because of two things. Number one, it was a display model, had a little ding in the paint. Number two, it didn't have any night vision holes drilled into it. So, you know what I did? The DIY guy I am, I drilled a single hole. And I decided to just do one hole instead of three because, from a ballistic integrity perspective, one hole would have more structural integrity than one with 3 holes. So, whatever. And I know that the 3-hole is a more sturdy mounting method, but with the Neurotos universal shrouds, having these things rotate on you really isn't an issue unless it's like a really crazy dire circumstance. This beauty was Cerakoted by my good friend Scott over at Micah Valley Gunworks. And before you start screaming, "Oh, I can't believe you baked your Kevlar, blah, blah, blah," he used the air dry Cerakote, so no baking applied. And he did a beautiful job on kind of this, I'll call it like a modified woodland multicam color palette. And was almost ashamed, honestly, to put all this Velcro and crap on here, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to be cool. Running the OpScore ACH arc rails, you may have heard me say this before, but don't cheap out on those guys. Don't get the shitty airsoft ones because half the real accessories you buy will not fit. Buy the real deal. And coincidentally, I sell them on my website. I'm rocking the Team Wendy Cam Fit suspension, which is my favorite chin strap system out there. Got the 4D tactical helmet pads in there, which I'm a big fan of. Very, very comfortable. Hearing protection, I'm just running a set of Walkers, razors that are attached with the 3M Peltor Comtac rail adapters. Clearly you can get the Walkers to work with this. I won't go over it because there's another YouTuber who's already got a channel who taught me how to do it, so I'll send a link to his video. And another super important upgrade, these are the Noise Fighter Sightlines gel pads, and I am running these with the Walker adapters. What I love about these, they have a little groove cut out, so if you wear iPro like M frames for example, this relief is here so they don't push the ear frames against the side of your head. Really helps out a lot with migraines. In fact, the way I have this helmet set up is the way I wish I had my helmet set up like 10 plus years ago in Afghanistan. I used to get all types of headaches after wearing these things for a few hours. And if I would have known what I know now, a couple simple upgrades like helmet pads and ear pro probably would have saved me a shit ton of Advil. Velcro wise, I'm running the Cry Precision Airframe Velcro kit, also sold on my website. Of course, gotta rock the cool multicam IR patches. USA flag for the fatherland, South Korea for the motherland. Of course, my second Ranger diamond patch and my EOG counterweight system. My favorite counterweight system, mainly because you can configure the weight on this guy, and because it just velcroed on there, I can easily move this to my bump helmet and not have to worry about unbolting a bunch of shit and other stuff. And this beauty as is weighs in at 4 pounds, 12 ounces, without any type of night vision mount or PVS 14. But remember, I also have my counterweight system on the back. Alright, we got this cut out from an ACH helmet, just level 3A Kevlar. Get a good look at it here. And we're going to shoot it with the old 45 carbine here just to see what happens. Well, that was nice. Came right back to us. Oh, I got it on the edge though. Through. Try to go to that meaty portion. Well, looks like a fluffy mess. Action. All right, Scott's got his PS90 shooting the 5.7, and he just couldn't wait, so he already shot it.
What's that?
Well, that's with the 5.7. Tiny, tiny entrance wound. Giant back one though. Yeah. You'd be done for. So here are the eardrops from the high cut conversion that Rob at KustomACH did, which you saw in the previous segment there, that we shot with a 45 and a 5.7. Here's one of the 45 slugs that we were actually able to pull out. And you can see there's a little bit of Kevlar thread stuck to this guy. So this means this guy did hit this guy here. And if you actually look, again, that was a 45. The rounds did strike towards the edge, so we have some delamination, but no No exit point. If this was a full helmet, it probably would have stopped at 45, but because, again, this was towards the edge of this piece of Kevlar, we can see that the force of that round did basically delaminate or delayer this Kevlar here. But again, you can see an impact round right here. No exit. Same thing right here. There's an impact. And again, this just went through the edge, but no hole. As for the 5.7, look at these little cute baby holes. Now these did hit, towards the edge as well, so we definitely had some delamination because of that. But you can see the difference here, how this Kevlar is just sprawled out, and I can actually feel a hole here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, the 5.7 will defeat, Type 3A Kevlar, which, I mean, should not be a surprise to anyone, but it was fun to shoot. Now, since we're on the topic of helmets here, I recently read this book, Shattered Minds, and this book is fucking bonkers, man. This book talks about several events that occurred between the early to mid 2000s, from the military picking shitty pads over better ones, obviously due to cost savings and govy contracts, as well as manufacturers that had been shorting the Kevlar in these fucking things for years. It also answered a lot of questions for me that I always had while I served. I served between early 2008 to the end of 2012. And oftentimes I was issued just the green MSA helmet pads, but sometimes I was issued the black Oregon Aero pads, which were way more comfortable, but kind of looked, a little more ragged compared to the MSA ones. This book really goes into the detail, the politics, and the fucking bullshit that Oregon Aero had to put up with to show they had a superior product, and basically got fucked in the ass for it. If you're a veteran like me, you probably already hate the government, but after reading this, it'll damn near turn you into an anarchist. If you're a civilian and you want to peek behind the curtain that is the military-industrial complex, I highly suggest you pick this book up. You want prime examples of what toxic leadership look like? Imagine this. Imagine that you're a Marine and the highest ranking officer in the Marine Corps, the Commandant, tells you you can't wear helmet pads that could probably prevent you from getting a fucking TBI, while he and his crew of flunkies are wearing those same fucking helmet pads. Hypocrite douchebag piece of shit. Fuck you. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to reach out to my friends Rob at KustomACH and Coleman at War Dogs Tactical. Tell them the Angry Asian sent you. And listen friends, I know my videos sometimes get long in the tooth, but I want to tell all you guys, all my subscribers, I love you motherfuckers. And just to show you my appreciation for watching this video, go to my website, check out the helmet lineup, and use coupon code in the meantime to take 10% off any helmet, including these guys, which will probably be for sale. Alright YouTube, as always, like, subscribe, all that bullshit. We'll catch you next time.